Today on the Big Mike Rant, Boomer Talks, reducing expenses. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ships at sea, sailors around the world. It's Big Mike Rant with another Boomer Talks. Listen, today I want to talk to you about something that goes along with my talk the other day about basic finances. And that subject is how to reduce your expenses. Now, I understand that that's a sensitive topic for some people because you feel like there's not a lot of control there. But trust me, if you spend it, you're in charge of it. First off, you're in charge of you. You know, and nobody cares if you make it except for you. So you have to sometimes be a little tougher on yourself than everybody else. And sometimes you have to make decisions about what you're going to do and how you're going to spend your money or how you're not going to spend your money. So today's talk is about reducing your expenses. Now, that can be a lot of categories. I mean, you can talk about your brand label expenses or your daily expenses, your weekly expenses, I mean your monthly expenses. You're talking about the gas bill. Well, I'm talking about every one of those. So you have to find a way to what's called mitigate. And that means to bring it down, to find the edge on it and look at everything with a critical eye. So the first thing I tell people, the very first thing you need to do is get you one of these. It can be a yellow one or a white one. It doesn't matter. It can be a blue one. I don't care. But start a list. And that list ought to be in priority. That list ought to be what you spend per whatever you want to measure, per week, per day, per month, however you want to look at it. But in a priority, the most to the least. And be as detailed as you possibly can because you're spending your money $1 at a time, so you have to think about how to save it $1 at a time. I had a boss one time tell me that if you take care of pennies, the dollars will take care of themselves. And it's a philosophy that says you don't need a Cadillac when a Volkswagen will do, basically. So here's what it is. Along with living within your means, we had that talk earlier on Boomer Talks. And along with your basic finances, you know, how to think about only paying for things that you actually absolutely have to have. Think about your incidental miscellaneous expenses too. You know, if you can go to the store and get an off-label brand of something for half the price of a full-label brand of something, think about how many of those you buy in a month, whatever that is. Call that a unit of something. You know, if each one of those units is $1 less and you spend $5 less a month, well, that's $60 less a year, 12 times 5. And if you do that 100 times, that's $60 less a year, 100 times 2 zeros, 6,000 times a year. So you could save $6,000 just by figuring out how to split your price on about 48 items. And it's not that hard to do. Use discount programs, buy the cheaper bologna, buy off-brand bread. Look at your utilities and see if they offer a program for averaging out your expenses every month. In some places, you pay an average of 12 months every month. In some places, they add up your last 12 months bill, divide by 12, and that's what you pay for the next month. In some places, you go on the economy plan. It just depends on where you live as to how they do it. But look at what you're paying. On every single thing that you pay, go see if you can find a better deal. I did this last year and took almost $5,000 off my yearly expenses. Here was one example. We were splurging, and we had Dish TV. And over the years, you know, without even thinking about it, you call them up and you say, hey, I want HBO. And they said, sure, and they added HBO. And hey, I want this, and they add this, whatever, you know. I need another set-top box. Oh, yeah, we'd be glad to send you one of those. And pretty soon you're paying $180-some a month. And you're scratching your head going, what am I paying for? And so you stop. It's a good thing I do this, you know, every so often. So I stop and I go, what am I paying for? So I got to looking at it, and I'm not just paying for TV. I'm paying rental charges on a box. On every box, on every piece of equipment, they want to charge you a rental fee. And not only that, but they had something called a wire maintenance fee, and I figured out what that was. I asked the guy on the phone, "What's this wire maintenance?" And that's if you ever need us to come out. You pay so much a month. If you ever need us to come out and work on the equipment, you've already paid for it, so you don't get charged the $100 fee. And I said, wait a minute. Your equipment, only you can work on it. And you want to charge me up front $8 a month for the last 8 years now. I should have paid attention, and I did not. But it was $8 a month for 8 years. Figure that out. So I said, what's the chances of getting a refund? Because you guys never did anything for me. He said, oh, no, sir, we can't do that. Then I said, well, then you're fired. You're fired. I quit, whatever you want to call it. Send me the boxes. I'm sending you your crap back because I'm not paying for this anymore. Oh, sir, wait a minute. We got a deal for you. Yeah, sure you do. So they put the specialist on the line, and he spent the next 30 minutes bending over backwards trying to figure out how to get me to stay as a customer. And what it boils down to is when I'm ready to quit, you want to figure out how to save me. But I'm just a regular customer. You couldn't give a rat's ass. So examine your expenses, what you're spending right now. It makes sense to go in and look at what you should be spending, not what you are spending. You can get car insurance for less amounts. If you ask, house insurance. You can get refinance on your car payment if your credit gets better. You can buy lower cost. I mean, there's a million things. Get your own pen and pencil out and make a list. You can get a million things cheaper than you pay for them right now. If you're a smoker and you buy Marlboros, I don't know why. Well, they taste good. I smoked for 30 years and I wish I'd never started, but I'm not a militant smoker. I'm not going to yell at you about smoking. And I'm already 7 minutes into this, so I'm not going to yell at you at all. But it's just a cigarette. And once you've smoked for that long, you don't really need a Marlboro. You just need a cigarette. So go buy a cheaper brand. Look how much you save. $7, $8 for a pack of cigarettes is nuts. The amount they charge you for soda, for cigarettes, for beer, for bread, for cheese, it's crazy. You can do better. I got faith in you. This Big Mike, it's been a Boomer Talk. Go put your money to work. It's a good idea. Bye.